Okay, let's start. Perfect. So we've got a strong representation from Brazil today. So welcome to our guests. And good evening. My name is Andrzej Kamiński, and together with Willy, Ilse, and Shay, I'm a co-organizer of this meetup. I always start with the definition of DevOps, a reminding definition of DevOps, and today is not going to be different. DevOps, many people define it in different ways, but mostly DevOps is about culture, automation, lean processes, measurements, and recovery. Now, we are going to touch base in the first presentation on the two of those areas. First of all, DevOps is about continuity, continuous integration. We talk about continuous deployment, continuous delivery, continuous improvement, quality monitoring, and so on and so on. Now, this generates a lot of data. Now, DevOps definition includes measurement, and without measurement and setting up baseline, we cannot improve. We don't know where we are we on the right track? So measurement is the key element of a feedback loop. But measurement is not simple as it might sound, but because we have to decide really what to measure and how to identify the signals in the ocean of that white noise. Now, to do this, we need to use automation, which is the second part or another part of the definition of DevOps. In the second topic today, we'll be talking about the future of this meetup. Where are we going to go with this? And this is really about you to decide where we would like to, or what type of topics and what type of speakers we'd like to host this year. So Willy and Shay will present the survey results. So before we start our presentation, I would like to just mention a couple of housekeeping items. So first of all, the session is recorded. Please keep your mics muted during the presentation. After the presentation, there will be time to ask questions. You can ask questions anytime in chat. You can type them, and later you can unmute yourself to ask the question, or we are going to read the question. And that's all at this point from my side. Willy, could you please introduce the speaker?
Thank you, Andrzej. So before I introduce the speaker, I just want to put this hypothetical question up in the air. So what if you need to review thousands of continuous integration and delivery pipeline stage approvals, which is one requirement we have, hundreds or thousands of repositories or Kanban board mappings to validate that they meet your guardrails, aka your governance. In Azure DevOps and other engineering services, this requires mind-numbing manual work and can consume hundreds of invaluable engineering hours, or not. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to Vinicius Moura, a senior cloud architect, former Microsoft ALM DevOps Ranger, which is the shirt he's wearing, and a Microsoft MVP since 2015. He's joining us all the way from São Paulo, Brazil, which is a mere 11,000 kilometers from our meetup. I've always known him as driven by passion to share his knowledge, and he will introduce us to his open source project containing a platter of PowerShell scripts and Power BI to help you create extensive governance reports for Azure DevOps. And I guess in future, GitHub as well, Vinicius. That's one question I'll probably throw at you later on. But with this, Vinicius, welcome, and the stage is all yours.
Thanks, Willy. Thanks, André. It's a big pleasure to me share my knowledge, share my experience, and share my Azure DevOps to show different reports, in my opinion, that I can manage and governance my DevOps process, basically. Not, I can't create automation to create a new YAML or create infrastructure as a code. I can audit my Azure DevOps. This is my intention in this presentation, okay? I will share my screen. Sure, and I have my presentation here. Wait a moment. It's okay? My PowerPoint?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay. Hello, good evening, good night, good morning, everyone. My name is Vinicius Moura from São Paulo, Brazil. And my intention here on this meetup is show different reports that I created to management and governance reports in Azure DevOps. Because when I have an organization on Azure DevOps, I have many repositories, many releases, many teams, and impossible control these teams, these repositories manually. I need automation to management my Azure DevOps. This is the intention of my presentation, okay? My biography, I'm the Ranger, Microsoft MVP since 2015. I have a YouTube channel joined together with Ricardo Serradas. 800 videos focus on delivery sprints on Azure DevOps. And I have a Medium blog, 15 posts focusing Azure DevOps reports. And I have a GitHub open source. And I have, I believe that 14 Power BI reports at this moment. But day by day, week by week, I create a new vision focus on Azure DevOps, or now focus in GitHub, okay? I have a DevOps, this is my passion, my life motto, because day by day, I want to help teams improve software deliveries, because I need to measure all metrics to support these teams. And after one sprint, one release, I analyze this governance and management rules, and I help team and suggest new improvements to improve these teams to have a better life, better day, better metrics, better deliveries, etc. Okay, and to understand how can I create my reports, basically I create my process, and here I have three main parts here. I believe that the amount of reports I use RESTful API from Azure DevOps. And this RESTful API, I extract informations, okay? I connect this REST API using personal access token. To run this REST API, I use PowerShell, because I like PowerShell to work with this REST API. I get all informations on this PowerShell, normally using a JSON. I convert this REST API with a JSON, and I get this information and put this information on SQL table. Why SQL table? Because I like SQL Azure, SQL Server. And I believe that the best, or not the best, they facilitate my use on Power BI. I believe that the best connector between SQL, Azure, and Power BI. Okay, it's no problem, because I generate one table and load this table in Power BI. This is my flow. Extracting, connect informations, use REST API, transform informations on PowerShell, and insert this information in one table, and I get a Power BI and connect it on SQL Server. This is my flow. Then, example? I need to refresh my data set, my database. I use Azure pipelines to refresh my data set. Because, example, I can create one pipeline trigger day by day, week by week, no problem. I can create a cron job, a schedule trigger, and put all informations again on this table or on this database. And time by time, day by day, week by week, I refresh our information. Example, my team creates every day one new repo, and I need to analyze this repo. My pipeline trigger focus on repository informations. I will run day by day. This is my frequency, okay? And I will put here 4 examples for different reports here. And my first report, I will focus on repositories. Why? Why repositories? It's the first interaction between developer and Azure DevOps. I need to create a repository to put my code, of course. But at this moment, I need to remember, I can't create new code on my main branch because my main branch reflects my application in production, okay? I need to protect this main branch. And of course, to create new features on your application, you need to create a branch derived by main branch, okay? And to put this new code to main branch in Azure DevOps, you will create, example, a pull request. Pull request is code review, okay? Then the first report is how many repositories in my organizations are protected with rules. I have branch policies or not. What are the branch policies I am using? I don't know, because on this example, that the first customer that I put this report, on this customer, I had 300 repositories. Manually, it's impossible verify if I have or not have branch policies in any branch. It's impossible manually, but I create an automation that I list this 300 repository. I get on main branch these respective branch policies, load this information in SQL, and show this information on Power BI. Repeat, apply same policies on 300 repositories. I need to verify different assigned policies on these repositories. I must protect it, main branch, sorry. 2, I need to create a code review. I need to apply, I need to improve, and to put code review to my team. This is my problem, code review. I need to protect my branch, okay? How can I create this automation? Of course, on Azure DevOps, all informations begins in projects, DevOps projects, okay? Then I need in one organization, I need to list our projects. In each project, I need to list repos, and in each repo, I need to list branch policies. And I get all informations and put on SQL table, okay? Let's go to the first demo here. Here I have my repo branch policy, my PowerShell, okay? And here, I list all projects. I have a for each. On each project, I list my repos, and on each repo, I verify the full branch and list the respective policies on each branch. I get all informations, and here I put information on SQL table. That's it, okay? On this example, I have 37, at this moment, I have 37 repositories, okay? And now I will connect my Azure DevOps, okay? And I will create a new repository, aleatory repository here, handle repository. At this moment, I can create alpha repo 14, okay? Let's go. I will create a new repository, alpha repo 14, okay? Create this repository, and I can't set any rules, not branch policies at this moment. How can I will run my PowerShell script. My PowerShell script needs a personal access token to connect to REST API. I need a URL to my organization, and I need a string connection to put information on SQL Azure. Okay, I will clear here, and I will run. The first sentence, I truncate my table because I will clean this information and I will load a new information. This is my sentence, okay? I believe that 30 seconds. And here, this is my repository. Basically here, I have one filter that I can filter my team projects. And here I have all repositories on my organization, in this case. Here, just a moment. On this case, I am using Azure DevOps CLI. This is a CLI command to Azure DevOps, but I can use REST API. The both commands are possible here. Okay. If I refresh, I have at this moment, I will have 38, 22. 25, I believe more 1 minute. $29. $34. I believe more 5 repos. I will wait to, okay, finish. Here I can refresh this information. Okay. Now I have 38 repos, and my new repo is alpha repo 14. Okay, here I can, example, filter a repository, and here I can get my alpha repo 14. And to my default, how many times that I create a new repo, I need to set rules. I need to set branch policies. But this respective repository, alpha repo 14, is not set any branch policy. To me, is a big problem, because at this moment, any developer can commit any code on main branch. To me, is a big problem, in my opinion. I need to protect my new branch, okay? My main branch, sorry. How can I transform this repository? I can get branches. I can localize and put here branch policies. And here, example, I will set require a minimum reviewer. I need to set 1. I need to join work item and code. I need to check for linked work items. I need to include example reviewer. I will be a reviewer. Okay, save. And I can click on this rule, check for comment resolution. I will set all informations. My repo, I believe that is okay at this moment, because when I run again my repository, I need this repository is green, not red. When my rule is green, in my opinion, is default, is okay. Is red, is a problem, is false, okay? And here, I will run again my script. I believe that I will wait 1 minute or 2. And here I get any informations again. I clean my table and load new information to my SQL table, and I will refresh my Power BI, and my information at this moment will be okay, I believe. Questions? At this moment, no. I will refresh. I will show our repositories. I will get our information again. I'm refreshing my table. At this moment, I have, but alpha repo 14 is here. And now my rules is set. My rules are on. And I believe that this repository it's okay to begin a new code, to create branches, to create a code review, because I set respective branch policy. I manage my repositories using this report. Questions? Make sense? Okay, I will, my run is already run. I am already running here, okay? And I will go to the second problem here. Second problem is release stages and approvals. Why? When I create my release pipeline, my release stage, I need to create different stages, example, development, QA, and production. to apply this new build on different stages to validate my new application, okay? And when I create these stages, I need to create a responsibility, because if I am, example, I am a developer and my stage is a development. My stage, I can't create any functionalities, any features, any codes, or any resources, example, in Azure in production. It's not my responsibility. This is an infrastructure team that will be creating this new resource. And when I have different stages, I can set pre and post improvements on these stages. When I go to Azure DevOps, I will show here, example, I have a release pipeline here. Perfect. And here, example, I have this release pipeline, alpha, repo H, underline, continuous deployment. If I edit this release pipeline, on this example, I have only one stage, but here I can create a test stage example, and I can create a prod stage. And on any stage on here, when I click on dev stage pipeline, here I have, if makes sense, or here I have pre-deployment approvals on this stage, and I have post-deployment approval. I need to manage my stage. I need to audit this stage, because if I put my test on dev environment, on dev stage, if my stage is okay, I can't go directly to production. Example, I need to approve my new release in production. I need to manage these approvals. My next report will show exactly this sentence. I will show my release pipeline, I will show my stage and the respective approvals on any stage, on any release definitions. Okay? Here I will save. Here, and here I can set on production stage pre-deployment, I will set one approval, of course, my user here. Here I will save this release definition, okay? I will confirm that test project, perfect. And come back to slide. How the problem is, I need to identify all release definitions. On each release definition, I need to identify and standardize it, all stages. I need to identify all approvers. And of course, I will validate and audit my release process. This is my intention. This is my problem. Because, example, I can verify one developer is approving a production stage, example, to me is a problem. To production stage, I need to put infrastructure team, example, because the responsibility to approve stage to production, this responsibility is on the infrastructure team. This is my process, and I need to audit this process. This is the intention of this report, okay? And here, this is my second report. Here I have, on my rooms, I have all release definitions, okay? And on columns, I have my stage, dev, test, and prod, and I have pre-deployment approvals and post-deployment approvals. Before I run this report, and at this moment, Alpha Repo 8 only only had a dev stage. At this moment, I create a test stage and I create a prod stage. And here, come back to PowerShell. I have my second PowerShell here. My PowerShell have, I get all projects on each project. I get all release pipelines, and I get pre-deployment approvals and post-deployment approvals. I get all informations and load SQL table. That's it, okay? And here I will run. I will get all informations. Or 20 seconds, I believe. And here I will get my report. And I get Alpha Repo 8. I will edit to show my report and my stages here. And I have here I need to create until six approvers: dev pre-post, test pre-post, and prod pre-post. At this moment, I have only one approver pre-deployment in production environment at this moment, okay? Let's go here, finish my PowerShell. If I refresh my information here and filter a respective release, Alpha Repo 8, here I can show. If I put here I show Alpha Repo 8, no approvals to pre-deployment and no approvals to post-deployment. But in production, I have one approval. Vinicius Moura will have pre-deployment approval on this release definition. If I, of course, change my definition, here I can put post-deployment example. I can set post-deployment here. Save. And save, okay? Yes. And run again my automation. I will get all informations again, loading SQL table. Wait a moment. One more time. Yeah, I believe that's finished, but finish, okay. I will refresh again. Okay, and I get the new information from Azure DevOps, and now I map my process to from my release, okay? And on Alpha Repo 8, continuous deployment, I don't have any approvals on dev, but in test environment, test stage, I have a post deployment here. I show the user or a group. And in production, I have other approval in pre-deployment. Here, I can have a mapping, show informations with release definitions, respective stages, and approvals. If I show all release definitions, my intention, I need to have the same mapping to any release definitions, to each release definition here. Example, all the time that I create a new release definition, I need to have, example, Delta Repo 4 is a default, okay? I need to have one post deployment on dev, one post deployment on test, and one pre-deployment in production. Can be that is a default on my organization. My intention, all release definition will be the same process, the same pattern, the same standardizer, and I have a complete map on my organization. This is the intention. This is the problem that this report will solve. Okay. And next report here, I will talk about Kanban boards. I will talk about teams. Because why? On Azure DevOps, I have Kanban board, and here I have columns to put my cards on these columns. Example, I need to measure the cycle time. I need to measure lead time. But if I have many teams, example, 100 teams, different teams on my example, I need to standardize these columns because at the end, I need to calculate a lead time. How can I calculate lead time on different boards? It's impossible manually, but all teams have the same columns, the same process. I believe that this mission is more easy, in my opinion. Then the problem here is audit team boards, columns, and swim lanes, because I need to apply same board columns in 100 team, 50 team, no problem. I need to apply same swim lanes on these teams because I need to calculate lead and cycle time, and I need to have the same process on these teams. Okay. On Azure DevOps, if I navigate again to Azure DevOps, and here I believe that my example focus on Alpha. Okay. Here I have Alpha team projects. On Alpha team projects, I have 3 different teams. Alpha team, a default team, Alpha blue, and Alpha green, example. No problem on these names. And I will create the 4th team, Alpha red, okay? And I will configure to this team the respective Kanban columns, okay? Let's go to backlog on Alpha red team, example, okay? Here I can create a red work item, example, no problem. And I will show my board. I use my board day by day to explain my daily Scrum, to show my delivery, to show my work items, etc. This is a the Kanban board to team focus on your delivery, okay? And here I have the standardized columns that Azure DevOps deliver, new, approved, commit, and done on backlog level, backlog items, or requirements, or on Agile, on Scrum, or on CMMI. Here I can customize its columns. Example here, I have columns and I will create 2 new columns between approved and committed. Example here, I can create on the right 1 new column called development, because I will show my respective cards at this moment are developing, okay? And here I will create new column, example, named testing, okay? This is the Kanban board for Alpha Red team. Different teams can create your respective Kanban, but if you need to standardize and create the same measures, the same metrics on this team, you need to understand how can I compare team red with team blue and verify if these 2 teams has the same columns on this Kanban board. Manually, it's very difficult. You can, example here, I can create other browser here. I can show Alpha Blue here, and here I have 4 columns, and here I have 6 columns. Different process, okay? And I need to compare to these teams to verify how can columns is missing on Alpha Blue team. I don't know. I need to compare to these teams. To do this, I create other automation to compare Kanban boards and swim lanes between all teams on the same projects and different projects, different teams on same organizations. This is the intention of this report. Compare Kanban boards. Perfect. Here I have this report and I have this PowerShell. If I clean my screen, I will run. And here I connect all projects. On each project, I get all teams. On each team, I get all boards. On each board, I get all backlog levels and I get all swim lanes. This is a complete report to show all resources, all informations about Kanban to your team, okay? The run is finished, and here I will compare. Come back to Azure DevOps. I need to compare Alpha Red team and Alpha Blue team, okay? And then now I refresh my information. Here I get Alpha team project, okay? And here I can compare backlog items, backlog level, and I can compare Alpha Blue and Alpha Red. Alpha Blue and Alpha Red. Okay, perfect. Now I can show Alpha Blue on Alpha Blue team are missing development and test columns. I can't measure these moments because I don't have these columns on my leads time or on my SQL time. What do I need? Of course, what do I do here? I connect blue team. I can customize my column. I can create a column here, and I will create development and testing after approval. And here I will insert development, and next column is testing. Okay? I believe that are okay, the same columns between two teams, but I will run again my automation. Wait a moment. Okay, I will refresh my information. Now, okay, at this moment, I have the same process, the same Kanban columns between two teams, alpha blue and alpha red. I believe that on this moment, I can't create the same metrics between these two teams. That's the problem that this report will solve. Okay? Come back to other report. I get the last report, last example here. Azure DevOps have the status.dev.azure.com. This is an official page to verify the status of any rubs or any features on Azure DevOps. Example here, in Brazil, I have feature Azure Boards, and in Brazil, at this moment, is okay. This is an official page from Azure DevOps team. But I will verify this report and talk to me. Here I have localization: United States, Canada, Brazil, Europe, United Kingdom, Asia, etc. Why not create a report on Bing Map? This is the same information, but I believe when I use a map, I believe the report is more beautiful in my opinion. REST API to verify a status of Azure DevOps is a public API. It's not necessary to create authentication. This is a public API. Here, I get all informations on Power BI. At this moment, I can refresh my report. If I put my pointer example in Australia, I have the same information of the official report, but here I have a map. The same information show in different situations in different ways. These are for demo to that I show with you. Last informations. Here I have my official GitHub. At this moment, I have 42 reports. Here I have all PowerShell, all Power BIs, totally open source. And here, when I create a new report, I create a respective post on Medium to exemplify to show my problem and show the solution. Of course, my blog on Medium and my respective GitHub repository is linking. Was linking because here I have a README file that points to respective Medium, and I separate between sections: Azure Boards, Azure Repos, Azure Pipelines, Test Plan. At this moment, I believe that Willy can help me, but I believe that I explore all rubs on Azure DevOps. It's difficult to give new ideas, in my opinion, because I believe that all information in Azure DevOps. And at this moment, I create a second repository. I have here 5 reports. At this moment, I am beginning to explore the REST API from GitHub. And of course, here I have 4 different reports. Example, I have branch policies on Azure DevOps. On GitHub, this feature called protection rules. I create the same report on REST APIs from GitHub. And here I have the same protection rule. No, the report, correct report is okay, the full branch protection rules. The same visual, but here I connect GitHub, and here I connect Azure DevOps. But the same report, and I create a new version focused on GitHub. It's when possible, I will create the same report on 2 different tools. That's it, Willy. Questions?
No, thank you very much, Vinicius. This was, I mean, I've already seen the report, but again, I'm kind of flabbergasted as to how you opened the black box of Azure DevOps, especially the visualization of the status. I really, really love that. And I made the comment, you should really talk to Microsoft and ask them to update their status page with your visual.
Oh, thanks.
Now, I've got 2 questions for you to get the question started. So I've been obviously observing you for years, and you've been investing a lot of effort in reporting for so many years going back. I mean, I even remember your SonarQube reports from the Ranger days. I mean, that's, I don't know how many decades that's ago, but why the passion for the reports?
My first report I created 10 years ago, because when I have only a Team Foundation version control, it's difficult to compare change sets and verify the ahead or behind on Team Foundation version control. It's very difficult. 10 years ago, I create a report to show this information. The second report is focused on Sonar. Why my passion? Because on this example, my problem is that on different customers, the customers always said, I have a problem to manage my repository. I have a problem to manage my release. And I think, why not create a ETL, create this platform to standardize this information? Because all the time I verify that I create the same information, the same report, but if I create my organization and I need to manage this organization, At this moment, I can't open anymore the Azure DevOps. I can create my repo using automation. I can create my reports. And then I need to verify. I verify that I repeat the same report day by day, customer by customer. To me, is a big problem. I need to automate Azure DevOps from Azure DevOps to Azure DevOps. It's my big opinion.
And then Vinicius, we just have an ask from Princess. Can you just show the service health visualization again?
Service health. Okay, it's here.
And maybe just also bring up the standard one just as a comparison.
Send it to Martin. Send it to. and the last information, Willy, I will show here, the bonus round. Now, what's the moment of Azure DevOps ETL? I create one visualization of repository, one visualization of team, one visualization of releases, etc. At this moment, I am creating an official ETL that I will extract all information at the same time. Example here, I have, at this moment, I have 9 tables are related, okay? And here, this is a prototype, okay? But here I have my PowerShell, and my PowerShell will connect first my process example. And here I have, if I have one process, I have projects connected to this process. If I have projects, I have repos. If I have repos, I have teams, I have releases. And here, one PowerShell is call other PowerShell and create in the same time a total ETL. And my intention is I give the name of my new project one report to rule them now. Remember, one team project to rule them now. I believe that if I create one report to manage my Azure DevOps, I will have in the same report all visualization to manage my Azure DevOps. This is my prototype at this moment, but I believe that on 2-3 months, I will have a complete product.
Phenomenal.
Because at this moment, I duplicate many informations, I know. But my intention is create a model to my organization, recorded, of course, our TFS warehouse database. This is a bonus.
No, this is really phenomenal. So I'm just scrolling through the chat. Andre, Shay, did you pick up any questions?
Well, yeah, from my side, this is really fantastic. I mean, this is really a huge help to any administrator. And Willy most probably can, he's eyewitness to this, right? He knows having a couple of hundreds pipelines that you need to manage and identify what's going on over there. There's actually a quite difficult task and job. So with this report, I mean, this is fantastic. This is great. So it's the information with those scripts in the Medium on your blog and as well as on GitHub, right?
Yes.
So someone wants to have a look
yes.
at it? Okay.
Totally open source.
Excellent. A fantastic job. Thank you very much. And so a question, obviously you use the Power BI desktop in this case. So you did it.
Yes.
Can you, I mean, are you using this also by using automation, or can you use the online version of Power BI and so it refreshes every day, or what's your recommendation? What's the best way to use this?
I use Power BI Desktop to create these reports, but I can publish if the customer have Power BI online. I publish this information, no problem. And I believe that my intention when I create this official ETL is create an automation to call PowerShell to create Power BI and publish in one Power BI online. I will create the total automation to put this information online.
Excellent. Yeah, very cool. Thank you very much.
Thanks again, and thanks for the opportunity. To me, it's very important in my career. Really know that the person is very important in my career. Really named Microsoft MVP. This is a big friend that I create on information technology. Thanks again.
You're welcome, Vinicius. And you just say Microsoft MVP. What is a Microsoft MVP? Obviously not a minimal viable product.
Well, this HL or Microsoft MVP?
Microsoft MVP. I mean, what is it about?
I believe that, I don't know. Most valuable person.
Professional?
No, it's the most valuable person, but I think what you should emphasize is it's actually you're doing work for the community on behalf of Microsoft, which is why they recognize you as a Microsoft MVP.
The patient, totally. Sharing your knowledge and show the new opportunities that the community can have, and show your passion. Since I nominated ALM Ranger, my passion is sharing new knowledge, sharing my. Example, I create a new automation. If I verify that it will be is improving other life, I will share. It's my since I am a child, I was a child. This is my passion. No problem to share. I know that I have a great product, but I don't have any problems to share this product. The passion. Finish.
Keep it up.
Yes, always.
Right, thank you very much, Vinicius.
Thanks again. Thanks all to the opportunity. I will stop my screen here.
Thank you very much. And as a matter of fact, there was a quite interesting conversation as well in the chat about the pull requests. I think this deserves like a separate conversation, maybe a separate session, because I believe a lot of people got very strong feelings about should we do pull requests or not.
Yes. And I think it'll go hand in hand, Andre, with a branching strategy session. Maybe we can combine the two. And yes, it will be quite a hectic session to moderate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was my question. Well, by the way, great demo, Vinicius. But when you first started talking about branching, I thought, oh shoot, he's talking about PRs and master. I said, wait, do we do that? It's a very interesting topic.
It is. I didn't. I mean, I've got my feelings as well about this. I had a quick look at the blog post that you shown, and I didn't read it, but I just very quickly browsed, and one thing that actually brought me to think, well, that something is not right over there, because this gentleman just mentioned that the PRs taking weeks, days, and weeks, even months. well, to me, something is not right if this is taking so long, right? In the DevOps world, at least what we try to do, we want to try to deliver in a small batches. In the organization where I work, where we want to get, we are not there yet, but what I would like, that's my dream, to have deployable code every single day. So practically speaking, theoretically, at the end of the day, you should be able to deploy to production, but that means that you need to slice your work into smaller chunks. And it means that the PR it should never take a long time. But the PR is not only about ensuring the quality, but to me, it's also about learning. We learn from each other, right? So by someone reviewing someone else's code, and it generates a conversation and the ability to improve, right? So I think that's where the biggest value of PRs are. I know anybody else has any other opinion on this?
I missed the article, but like, what is the alternative to PRs?
You push directly to master.
Like everyone just pushes directly to master?
That's one viable way. Or otherwise you say trunk base isn't the solution. And trunk base there's no silver bullet. And some people like trunk based, and there are variations of trunk based, which is like contradictory to what I think trunk based is supposed to mean. So my opinion is pure trunk based means there are no PRs ever. And then there are short-lived features, which is an icky word, because what is a short-lived feature? And that goes back to master right away, like quickly.
But doesn't that just mean constant merge conflicts, kind of? Like you'd have to constantly be pulling master, right? Like whenever you're...
There's pros and cons to everything. I can tell you my opinion, like if you have a small team, then trunk base is good, and they're all like senior people. If you have a large team, especially where everyone's working from home, my experience is you might need one of the more powerful Git flows, such as GitLab flow or GitHub flow. That's my opinion.
No, there are actually large organizations with trunk-based development, but obviously it requires a lot of maturity from the teams and from within the organization. But it's a great topic. I think the whole thing about the branching strategy, this should be maybe one of the topics for one of the future meetups, and having a conversation, not just presentation, but having a conversation. I think this will be a great potential topic. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. So so thank you very much, Vinicius. Let's move to the second part of our session today, and this will be the survey results. Willie, Shay, would you like to talk about this?
Yes. So I'll kick off the second part of this evening. So welcome to the DevOps Vancouver Meetup feedback session. And I'm Willy Schaub, and I'll represent the dreary DevOps Tonian, who will take you through the mind-numbing numbers of the Meetup survey. And with me, I already can see him smile, and on the side is Shay Vannery. And I'll call him the collaborative DevOps Tonian, who will be our master of collaboration to discuss your feedback and also find ways to improve our meetups. So let's dive straight into the numbers. So we received a mere 31 responses from 1,923 members. So I intentionally did not put the percentage next to it because that would be slightly low. Our promoter score is on the lowest side with 3 detractors and 11 passives, which gives us a lot of room to improve. Unfortunately, and please jump in, Andre, if I'm wrong, we don't have an NPS score to compare with, which means that 25 becomes our baseline. So again, lots of opportunity to improve.
Oh, I would say it is a great opportunity to improve because next one it will be much bigger.
So if you've done the survey, then you've seen that we stack ranked a few topics. So the stack ranking of the general topics has tools and technologies, metrics and measures, and cultures, team roles, and practices as the top 3, whereby 3 and 4 are pretty close together. The second stack ranking that we asked for was all about non-technical topics. And your top 3 favorites are organizational transformations, roles, interviewing and hiring, and one of my favorites, experimentation, fail fast, and learning. I must admit, and I think Shay, you share my kind of amazement when we saw the results, is I was surprised to see continuous delivery of value at the bottom. I would have expected that to be much higher. But again, that's just my 2 cents. Then last but not least, for the technical topics, your stack ranking placed containers, automation, and cloud native computing as the top topics for us to plan. So does anybody have any questions or thoughts before I hand over to Shay to take us through the rest of the feedback and discussion thereof?
I actually do have a big topic. So I've been attending your meetups for a long time, great meetups, and I'm actually a little confused, surprised at people's level of like containerization and like an orchestration like Kubernetes. For example, there was a talk very specific on Kubernetes about networking. I actually understood it because I do that. But if people have no experience with Kubernetes, that meetup or that specific topic would have like gone over people's heads totally. I don't know if you know which one I'm talking about, but it was good. It was really Calico and Tigera.
We have to challenge ourselves all the time, right? The bar is rising.
True.
So.
True.
We learn from each other.
Like we could even do a quick poll of how many people are using Kubernetes right now. Like, do you want to do a +1 on chat to see if anyone's using Kubernetes? I'll go first. +1 Kubernetes. And I'm just curious, like, out of the 25 people right now, or how many you guys are actually using Kubernetes in production?
Well, there are two parts of this, containers and orchestration,
right?
Right. So maybe either of those, because they don't necessarily go together. I mean, they should be, but.
Right. Okay, so quite a few people using Kubernetes. So assuming we're not getting more +1s today, so I would say maybe 30%.
But you know, this is actually a great topic as well, because if you think about where the world is moving in this moment and this whole concept of no ops, containerization is definitely something where most probably want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Right, so I'll flip over and I'll hand over to you, Shay.
Thank you, Billy. And Henry, actually, this was like a really neat segue. Like, I mean, you asked a question and out of nearly 30 participants, you got like 4 responses. That has somewhat been our experience with posting surveys, hoping to get some kind of responses. Like Billy mentioned, we have like over 1,000 people who have signed up, but only about say 30 people actually gave ahead with the responses. So it's really important to all of us as organizers of this meetup that we are creating content that is like valuable to everybody and it's timely. So we, being rather democratic in nature, we rely very heavily upon these kind of surveys. So please keep an eye out on any surveys that you see and please give us some actionable feedback. Some of these were really, interesting for us and we got like quite a good amount of feedback from this, but some of these are just kind of amusing. We had a good laugh about it, but yeah, so let's just look at some of the responses that we got. So like the first one, for example, was quite amusing for myself. It says, varying the date and location would help make it more accessible. Maybe we should consider a live stream. This, co-participant has probably not been with us for like the last couple of years because we've been live streaming ever since COVID started, eh? So this is just more of a conversation. So all of you, please feel free to, at any point, post your comments in the chat or like add to this list or like even, unmute yourself and feel free to talk. So some of these are, like they are more actionable topics that we were noticing. Ensure all dimensions of DevOps, including biz DevOps, are covered. See, this is something that, it's a bit of an advanced topic. And like some of our conversations suggested, I mean, it's on a spectrum, right? Some of these are like relatively easier to grasp. Some of these are like a little bit more advanced. So we need your feedback to help us go in the right direction. The next one was rather close to me as well. It says, have a potential job board for Vancouver DevOps roles. So back in the day, before COVID, these kind of like meetups used to be like a really good networking opportunity. But, not being in a room, being in a moderated session sometimes gives us less of an opportunity to do that. So if at all people have interest in these kind of topics, please feel free to, add in the chat or like give us a +1. Creating a schedule of upcoming meetups and sessions so that we can plan better. This has been an initiative in that direction. And, we do have like quite a bit of interesting topics coming up. So stay tuned for that. More relevant presentations. Yeah, we'll try our best, but let us know how. How could we be more relevant? Are there more relevant topics that you can think of? You can tweet us. You can message us on LinkedIn. In-person events, very soon. The Provincial Health Authority has almost authorized this. So very soon we would be moving towards a hybrid sort of a mechanism. Hopefully we would be able to change the locations so that we can get people from various different geographical areas attend. And for our friends who are abroad, like Vinicius and co, they can always attend via live stream. Lab scenarios, always my favorite. I love things with the technical bent of mind. So really happy to see, like demo sessions, new products, like the last couple of sessions have been very interesting for myself. Well, overview on new tech, kind of along the same lines, like Tigera and JFrog that we saw. I personally would vote on these topics, and I would like to see more demos along the same lines, and keep on engaging the community to create a more vibrant energy. Keep up the good work. Thank you to whoever wrote that. More diversified presenter. Of course, this has always been one of our key, hopes, and we will continue to strive to do that. And if you have any suggestions on some of your friends or colleagues who might be like really good presenters, or if you want to share your products or your knowledge with the rest of the Vancouver community, please let us know, and we'd be happy to try and accommodate you in there. I guess that brings us to the end of this. I'll pass it back to Willy.
You're on mute, Willy, if you're trying to speak.
Yes, I'm on mute. I apologize. So yeah, this was basically the last two questions, which we didn't get any feedback on. So what other topics would be interesting and important to you? Andrea and Shay, what I heard today is obviously branching strategy and pull requests is probably the next one, or one of the next ones we should think of. And then we also asked any other candid and actionable feedback on how can we improve this meetup. So I think in a nutshell, we're asking everybody is, what would you like to see? What would you like to present, and how can we make this event more relevant and fun for you all? And Julian, I see your hand is up.
Yeah, so I'm brand new to this meetup, I think. If I have gone, it would have been before COVID, like maybe a long time ago. But I didn't see any mention of like interactivity, and I see like almost everyone has their camera off. So I'm not sure if it's the right crowd, but I noticed what really makes me actually want to go to meetups again is that more people have figured out advanced Zoom features like breakout rooms and things like that. And breakout rooms, like it's much more like easy for shy people to kind of put on the camera and start talking a little bit in like a group of 3 to 5 kind of scenario than like 25. And you feel less like you're hogging the spotlight when you talk a little bit you know, versus like now I feel like I'm performing in front of 25, right? Like the question is worth posing, but not going on about. But, you know, I like conversing. That's the point of a meetup for me. So I can do equal time, but I can't do equal time divided by 25. That's kind of useless. So breakout rooms, yay.
Yeah, it's a great feedback. Thank you. We'll make it in the future more interactive. Definitely.
And it doesn't have to be during the thing. I just mean like after, like open floor or whatever.